and so alone. With Gerald Levert. These are the men at large.
Just the other day, taking life for granted, passing time away. I was there for you, you were there for me. Other IG, dog.
What's good, man?
I was on the other IG. I ain't had this one.
I'm tripping, man. I knew I hit you up from the Blaze 6 one, but yeah, we're gonna do it on the platform over here. Since the radio platform right here.
That's what it is.
Yeah, man. What's popping with you though, man? Good to see you.
Oh man, no, that's good to be seen.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you giving me the time, man.
It's all good.
What's going on to everybody who coming in the room? For the people who don't know, my name is Six. I am host of Nomtombout Radio here in Cincinnati on 91.7 wvxu HD2. This show, you can also check us out on YouTube, Nomtombout Radio, Spotify, Nomtombout Radio, and of course here on IG, man. We got special guests in here today, man.
The Gizzo.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. Introduce yourself. Everybody on your live know who you are, man. I'm really doing this for my listeners so they can get hit, man. I'm surprised you ain't on a Hitmaker beat yet, a Hitmaker remix yet.
You know what, man? I think a lot of, I work with people like James Worthy, King James Worthy, Grammy-nominated producer. He on the live now.
Okay.
I just probably need to do some more work with him because everybody knows him. I think, a lot of these younger cats coming up now, Hitmaker and all the cats doing the things, they know about us. But, for it seems like to be respected and to be, to be acclaimed, you have to deal with the cats that have the run right now. And unfortunately, I don't have that. I'm not, in some people's hearts, I'm still here. But most of the cats, what up, Anita? Most of the, that's been my friend for like 90,000 years, man. She's so old. And it's not, unfortunately, because I'm still blessed, man. I'm still running, I'm still moving, but they have to have somebody that's high on the stream list, somebody on the playlist, somebody that's high in the in the running right now. You dig what I'm saying? And that's usually who they gravitate, or somebody say, hey, this my man, he coming out with QC right now, or he coming out with Hustle Gang or whatever the clicks is right now. I need you to put them on the record, and then they catapult, or Khaled, a stamp. But you gotta be, so I don't run one of them. I got my own thing, brother.
And you do the and I see you do the lives where you'll bring somebody in and sing with you. You never know who you're gonna find on there. You might find the next whoever.
And I do that tonight, man. You see my little thing in the back. I'm getting ready for mine at 9 o'clock, man. It's Talent Tuesdays, man. And tonight, it's not a lot of money, but I'm giving away $50 tonight to the best talent. Because what I've been doing is I've been getting a lot of people to come on, but they just want to watch. Like, it's not a monkey show. Like, I honestly have executives with distribution and marketing setups for people to, if you really good, like they'll sign you. I have people with radio station connects internationally. I have people with connects that come into my live. So I'm saying, like, I don't, like, for me, I don't really, like, I see these cats, I'm gonna sit on here and just wait for people to come in the room. I'm waiting. Like at 9 o'clock, poof, I'm in. And that's my joint. Come on, and I'm in. And it's like I believe in quality. Like I have quality listeners, man, because you never know who's checking my joint out. You know what I mean? But by the end of the night or by the end of the next day, it's some good number of folks that have checked it out. And you never know who might see your eyes, Clyde, bomba Clyde, like hip hop Hollywood. She checks in from time to time. Yeah, I love her too, and she has a show on Wednesdays called Wild Out Wednesdays that she does, and she's looking for talent. Yo-Yo.
Okay. I'm gonna check that. I heard you say something about her before.
Say it again.
I heard on another one of your lives where you mentioned her and a little bit about what she was doing, man.
Yeah, on Wild Out Wednesday, she had West Coast Wednesday, she called it, where she has talent come in and she has a label and she's really trying to put people on, man. So come on there, man. I send you over to her. You know, and then my man from Song Source Music Group through Empire. The cats is
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
stuff, you know. They own there and they looking for talent.
You know what, man? We gotta just start it off right, man. You trying freestyle, sing style?
I mean, I got bars too. I mean, I don't play.
I can beatbox and you can do the harmonies.
Let's see what you got.
You ready?
Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna sync up though. Let's see if it sync up though.
Let's see. Let's see.
That makes me want to sing. Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah. I'm chilling at the house now, and I'm busting this radio down. My man is on the radio, and it's time to blaze the show. Vanita's checking us out in the O-H-I-O. So a little something like that, because I can't really hear the beat though. But you know, we got
a little bit of lag, man. I was falling off a little bit too. It ain't synced up, but
it's all good.
We're gonna get it all together.
It still was
Yeah. Now, for my listeners who don't know who you are, man, kind of tell them a little bit about where you from.
You know, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, man. OH all day, Midwest. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just performed at Washington Park in June of last year. We just did the, I guess they do the R&B thing on the summer. But I'm from a group called Men at Large, man. The late, great Gerald Levert discovered us. And probably when y'all was like in diapers or not even thought of, or y'all was just a flow of juice in somebody's testicle. You know what I mean?
Jesus. Jesus.
Just saying. A flow of fluid in somebody's testicle.
Yeah,
it was at that time it was a hit or miss.
a protein buildup.
Right. I'm back up.
Yeah, man. So you from Cleveland, and I kind of want to talk about how did you get into the music? How did you get into paying the dues to get to where you at, man?
I mean, you know what's crazy is I started off in radio at 15. I worked for WZAK in Cleveland. My uncle, I call him my dad. He was one of the top programmers in the nation. His name is Dave Tolliver, and he used to have me with him ever since I was like 4 years old, just going around and just being at the radio station. So fast forward, I was like 15, and I knew how to work all the materials. And plus, I was like working at the station on the weekends and answering phones and doing different stuff. And he called and said, such and such got fired. I need you to go into the station tonight because I need somebody to fill in immediately. So, man, that was like June of 1986. I started working overnights, 1 to 6 in the morning, going to school right after I got off the air. And I mean, that lasted, you know, from like 86 to 2000. And then in the process, you know, that same year, we got discovered by Gerald. My partner and I were singing at a party for one of the other DJs. He came in, he heard us sing, and he was like, yo, I'm going to hook y'all up. And, you know, the rest is history, doggy. History.
And you said you met Gerald how?
Well, my mom, God rest her soul, she worked for the government, but she also worked for this big-time record store there, too. At the time, it was called Fillmore East, and, you know, back then, all the artists had to go to the record stores. They had to go to the radio stations, meet and greet, shake hands. Not like now, we can do everything online and push a button and, you know, catch a viral moment. We had to create a viral moment. And so all the entertainers would come to the radio station. So Gerald lived down the street from the record store. And he would always come in there and see the owner and talk to my mom. Him and my mom were cool. So I had met him before. But, you know, his dad and my dad were cool because my dad broke his dad records playing them. And, you know, when it was time for Gerald's records to come out, my dad broke his records too. And so, you know, that's how I knew him. But he discovered us singing. He didn't know I sang. He discovered us singing at one of the other DJs' parties. So he had an after party at his house, and everybody was like, sing, 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 sing. And so we sang, and you know, that was like 86, and he said he was going. That was right when they first major record was taken off. The pop, 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 pop goes my mind We ain't seen him again for like 3 years, man. And then we saw him, and I was working with another group. I don't know if you're familiar with the Nerve DJs.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny O and them, they had a rap group, and me and my partner were dancing, believe it or not. And for them behind,
Really?
Called Big Step. Yeah, I haven't done everything, man. I haven't done everything.
I need to see the move, man.
That, you know, them days is over. But we were rehearsing at the same studio Gerald and them were recording at. And he came out, he was like, I'm glad I saw you because I got this idea for 3 big dudes that could sing, dance, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So a couple weeks later, we went up to the studio. We auditioned for him. His dad, Sean, was there. The Rude Boys were there. Steve from Troop was there. And, man, we had brought a couple other guys, but they didn't make it, man. And then we had got another guy to be in the group. I don't know if y'all remember on Extra or Inside Edition or TMZ, where it was a guy that had robbed R. Kelly down here or whatever when he was on TV, whatever. R. Kelly had moved down here, and there was a guy that said that R. Kelly said he had robbed him, and they caught him. Well, anyway, if you go back and look up that story, that guy was in our group. And he was just, it didn't work out for him because he would have just been on the outside of an inside joke forever. Because, you know, me and Jason were, you know, together from birth, man. So it just wouldn't have worked for him. And it ended up just being me and Jason, man. And, you know, that's the story. From 1986 till I first released in May of 1992. That's how long it took, doggy.
Talk about your relationship with Jason, because I know you show him a lot of love and a lot of respect on his craft.
Yeah, man, he the king. To me, he's one of the greatest voices of all time, man. I've been around and I've seen a lot and heard a lot and done a lot. And he has one of the most beautiful, purest, man, richest voices in the history of music to me that has never gotten his just due. Part of it is his own fault, and the other part is just being part of a system that really didn't care to put us where we needed to be when the time was right. And you know, but even after that, I don't think that he went hard enough, or felt, you know, the need to, or had the, I don't know, the drive or whatever. I don't know. He just never got his just due. When people see him, you know, they know, oh, that nigga, yeah. And he is that dude still to this day. To me, has always be one of my favorites. He's incredible. But just, you know, never got his just due. I remember when we were on the road touring a lot, amongst the industry peers, it was always who had the better voice. It was either him or was it Wanye from Boys to Men. That was the talk in the industry. Was it him or Wanye? You know. So.
That's crazy, man. My earliest memory of you, because people don't know or might not know that you're a family friend. I remember you coming to my grandma's house on Sunday, and y'all used to crush with us, man. We used to tear it up. Greens, ribs.
Oh my God. Old Funky Vanita.
You say what?
Man, with old Funky Vanita, man. You know, me and
hey.
Can you hear me?
That's my auntie, man. Hold on.
No, man, I love her, man, because I can tell you, the last time I came there, as a matter of fact, every time I come to Cincinnati, every time I've been coming, man, I can tell you, man, she has been a great friend, man, for a long time, man. It's never been no funny stuff between the two of us, and she has always been a great friend, always checking up on me. I remember when she worked at the funeral home.
You still do.
Oh, well, I need to give her a call then because I need some product. No, I'm joking. You don't get that?
I think, I don't know.
Well, back in the day, let me tell you, back in the day.
I didn't know you like to get wet.
That's what I'm talking about. That I used to be
sure,
like, I used to tell her, hey man, send me some of that stuff up there, man, so I can get it. Because I'm saying when I came off the road, I used to always go back to the radio station and work because I like money. You know, even though I was on top of the chart, I still would come home and work that 1 to 6 or whatever, you know, shift they needed me to work.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I
man.
would be like, I would be like, hey, let me get some of that. Let me get some of that. Because cats used to be up at the club out cold, putting their cigarettes in it, smoking their weed in it. And I'm like, dog, do you know what that stuff does for you? But I'm saying we could have made so much money, man. Listen, but I mean, you know, I'm glad she never did it because I'm
Yeah, man.
glad I'm glad she
That's
never
like the
did it
first
because
mistake.
that would I probably would still be in jail for that right now because I probably would have killed some people. But you know,
Yeah, you don't want that, man.
I'm out.
I got a question for you, a trivia question.
Uh-oh,
It's kind
boom,
of off the
boom.
wall. It's off the wall.
Okay.
It's a trivia question that I had on my show last week. Which hotel towel gets violated most? The hand towel, the washcloth, or the dry towel? Which one do you think?
I would the one that gets violated the most would probably be the hand towel.
You think?
I think so because one, when we go, it can be used for various things. It can be used as a quick cleanup. It can be used as it can be used to take to the show. You know, to make sure you wipe your sweat. It can be used to.
I'm not wiping no sweat with no hotel towel.
Well, I mean,
I
you
know
know,
where that towel has been.
well, you know, they bleach them joints though.
Yeah,
Derek
yeah.
Dean says she always brings the man the hand towel afterwards. That's what
See, I
that's what
think it's
that.
the hand towel because people use the face towel. I'm gonna wash my body with that, and then I need something to dry off with. But that middle towel, I'm gonna defile that towel.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. That is the one that's defiled the most.
Yeah. All right. I just want to get that out the way.
Because look, you
We
can
can.
take the hand towel and wet one side with soap, and then you still can have a little wet side in the middle, and still enough dry to be straight at the end. You ain't got to get up no more.
That is a tutorial, my
Multi-purpose.
man.
Multi-purpose.
You're gonna have a how-to on YouTube. How to
You know what?
defile a towel.
Matter of fact, that probably would get me 10 million views off some stupid mess like that.
Man, you think it won't, man?
And then, but
I want to
actually
talk
do the
about that.
demonstration.
Don't do it.
Can I actually do the
Don't do it.
demonstration? No,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
not now. I'm talking about on YouTube.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't. Make sure you tell me, and I won't look at that video.
Vanita says she dare me. Whatever. I ain't doing that.
I got a question that kind of is linked to that, man. Like over time, how the music changed. Like women have changed. Do you think women are still receptive to the same stuff that used to be in the R&B songs back then, or you think you're gonna get that text is gonna get blasted to the whole crew? Girl, look what he said. He said he wanted to. Yeah.
I think now. I mean, back then they couldn't show everybody. Now, yeah. I think it say like Usher sent a text. Maybe I mean even somebody at my level. I think you got A, B, C, D. You know, different levels of entertainers. You know, they're stars. You know what I'm saying? And I think even now to this day, you still have it's you have to be very careful. You have to be very trustful to the fact of what you send and what you receive. And if you read something, you have to erase it because I mean, you know, there's somebody that's still enamored with who you are or who you were or who you are now. And man, listen, you have to be careful. And I
I
think
was
that
really talking about. My bad. I don't mean to interrupt. I was really talking about how has the music. How have you seen the women change with the music? Because in the '90s, it was like a real like love you type R&B, and as the music changed, it seemed like the women changed. It's kind of like it's a direct reflection.
oh man, you know what?
Or relationships change, period, because of the music.
I think relationships and everything have changed not only because of music but because of entertainment. Period. Everything that we see from the reality television, people want to live like that. You know, I had a conversation with my girl Nikki from Brownstone 2 nights ago about this stuff right here. It's that, you know, everything that we were taught growing up. Well, I'll be 50 this year, homie, and so everything that I was taught that was wrong or that we shouldn't do is okay to do now. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like getting high all the time, or, you know, drinking anytime for anything, or gay marriage, or, you know, being gay. And that I was taught that that wasn't right. You know, now you can get married and be gay and you can adopt kids. But before, they wouldn't even let single upholding people, no matter what your status was, financial, you couldn't adopt kids, you know, different stuff like that. But now you can be two men married, two women married, and y'all can have a family. You know, it's a new day and age, and now we live in a time zone where I think people accept any and everything. You know, I went to see my homeboy. I was doing something in Chicago. My homeboy, he older than me, and I was like, "You ain't playing the old school says." He's like, "Man, I don't want to hear that old shit." I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, well, let's turn up then." You know, because I got a younger kid still, so I turn up too. I've learned to accept it. But one thing I learned coming down here, moving to Atlanta from Ohio, and just looking at just what has happened, I think everybody has embraced. They talk a lot of trash, but the women, everybody have embraced this new way of life, man. This new way of music. Period. They have embraced it, and they don't mind. I think, and that has come with the radio is a letdown now. Your outlets where you used to hear the freshest, hottest stuff is a letdown. So it's like, if back in the day, if Songs in the Key of Life came out in 1973, I'm not sure what year it was, and say it was 1990, and say you heard a song off of that record, you'd be like, "Oh man, that's my joint. I ain't heard that in forever." Now you
Right.
hear that song almost every day, and they're not realizing there's like 20 some other songs on that album that you can play, but they just stick to that one song. So it's like, now everybody getting tired of listening to the same thing, so they start searching and fishing, and if it sound cool, they just gravitate towards it. I think
It's so many songs being released. It's so saturated. It's like, how do you break through the noise? You got to do something to clout chase just to break through the noise. A talented artist has to clout chase just to show that you got real talent.
well, and, you know, and that's unfortunate. And I tell cats when I sit on these panels, I say, you know, you need to do something to make yourself. Yeah, y'all share the live while we on here. It should be 1,000 people on here right now. I tell people, you know, wow, you should do something to make you stick out. Why be like the next person? He already got his. Why don't you do something to make yourself stick out like a herpes sore on a light-skinned dude's face? I tell him, I said, we all got to drive on the same freeway, but we don't have to drive the same car, man. I mean, it's preposterous. Like
But
everybody.
people want the same car. I want that exact same car, the exact same color. I want my
Why?
PSI on my tires to be the exact same as yours.
Why? Because if he do a stick up, they gonna pull you over, and you ain't gonna be able to get out of it.
Shout out to all the light-skinned guys with herpes out there, too.
It's a lot of them. Corey B. Corey B is a superstar comedian.
Shout out to Corey B, man. Shout out to Corey B, man. While we on the topic, man, let's move into something a little bit lighter, man. I want to play a game with you, bro.
Hey, let me let you
This
know I'm an
game,
open book, man. So you don't have to be hesitant about anything you ask. Like I don't really care. Like I feel like my stories, my stumbles, and everything are a light for other people to guide them down the path where they need to go, man. So you know, I always tell people that before we do these jobs.
craziest road story or tour story, either tour or studio story. Let's hear it.
Craziest. Okay, I'll give you one that. Okay, so one time we almost got jumped by like about 30 dudes in New York. And when I tell you who it is, you're gonna trip out. So we had just did You Me. You know the song You Me, and I said I ain't down with OPP because there's HIV and all I want it to be is just you and me. So you know where I'm going.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of Naughty by Nature. I'm rocking Naughty by Nature, the cassette in my truck. That's all I'm playing. It's Naughty by Nature, and then Mobb Deep came after that. But so we get to New York and we just filmed the Good video. So Salt and Pepper at the time had a club called Broadway's. And so we did an interview with Wendy Williams that morning, and we got to the station and she was like, you know, Naughty by Nature was in here yesterday and they was dogging y'all. They was calling y'all fat around the heart, this, fat, that. And I was like, what? Like we ain't no punks, but about to go run up in these dudes' face and be talking trash. Now, mind you, it's 3 of us that's big and 1 little dude. So then we seen them. So the night we finish the video and we get ready to go to the club. So it's me, Jason, my road manager, who was bigger than both of us, and our background singer, Fred. So they sent us a car from the label. We get in the car, and Jason's in the car like, something doesn't, he always was Jesus. Something doesn't feel right, man. He said, God is telling me that we shouldn't go here. I was like, well, nigga, you stay here with Jesus. I'm going to the club. We get in the car. It pulls off and something goes, boom. Nigga, the axle breaks in the car. He says, man, I told you. God told me that we shouldn't go. We should stay here. I said, man.
He was trying to prophesy.
I said, man, prophesize these. That's exactly what I told him. I said, man, stay here. I'm going to the club. So it was like the grand opening of Salt and Pepper. They had a club called Broadway's. We walk in this club. Wendy Williams is broadcasting there again. Everybody who's anybody in hip hop is in the club. BDP, LL Cool J, Salt and Pepper, Spinderella. Everybody's in the club. We walk in there. We getting dot from everybody. I walk over and I see Vin Rock. And I'm like, let me about to go holler at Vin Rock. I said, because, he ain't really, I was like, Vin, what's good, man? What's happening? He was like, yo, I was like, man, what's up with all of this? And he was like, yo, man, we took that as a diss. I was like, wow, man. I said, we fans of you. I said, my truck parked at the airport right now with the cassette in the joint. I was like, man, so if it was a comedian saying that, he was like, yo, we rap and y'all sing. We took that as a diss. That's comedy. That's different. I stopped. I said, like that on some, Tool Time shit. And I said, man, we love y'all. I said, we gone, man. It was no disrespect intended. So I walked off to the back and we did another. That's when I seen LL in the back. I ain't not drop name dropping. Let's get to the point. So we did another interview with Wendy Williams, a little live broadcasting. So then we walked back up to the front. At the time, that's when Kenny Anderson was dating Spinderella, all this stuff. So then I'm walking and we talking and we mingling with everybody. The next thing you know, I see Trench. Now Trench is down there.
Did he have a chain on?
Huh?
Did he have a chain on?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was real hood looking, I'm saying. And so I saw Trench with the braids and all that, and he was talking to DJ Wiz, Kid and Plays DJ. And I'm like, I'm about to go talk to this nigga right now. I said, because I love these niggas and I don't want no beef. So I went over to him and I'm like, what up, dog? I'm like, what's good, Trench? What's up? And he laughing and smiling, talking to Win. And he was like, I remember everything he said. He's like, yo, man, them shits is. He turned around and was like, his face said, and next thing I heard him going, that's all I heard. That's all. So at the time of this video game, I'm playing the video games. My man like, come on, let's go. It's time to go to car outside. I'm like, hold up, I'm almost finished. So then when we finished, we walked out. And next thing I heard was like, no, Beast, man, F them niggas, man. You family, but fuck them niggas. Beast was this big, like 7 foot tall, monstrous dude that worked on he worked on video sets, Lionel Martin and all these are the big time cats back in the day. And so next thing I know, I turn around, here he comes towards me, and a cloud of dudes just come outside of the club. I'm like, oh no. I said, oh my God. I said, no.
You should have told him, I know it sounds funny, but what can I say?
Man, my life. Man, listen. So, I mean, he was putting on a show. So I guess he must have told them niggas honestly, he must have told them before he came outside, I'm about to go scare these niggas or something or whatever. So in my mind, I'm figuring, well, me and my man, we probably could take him. But I'm looking at all these other dudes that came out. Long story short, he put on a show. He was like, F the OJs, F Levert, F y'all. I'll do y'all niggas right here, right now. I was like, dog.
Eddie?
He said everybody. I was like, dog, listen, man, come on, man. I said, we fans, this, that. He was like, man, F that, F you, F this. He said, man, and then long story short, because I'm running long, he said, man, y'all better get the F out of here before I go get my shit out the car. And that by that time, the car had came back around again. We jumped in the car. Next morning, Wendy Williams got on the radio talking about Tretch ran us out of New York. But here go the next thing. This is what messes up. What messed us up was we were scheduled to go on the Budweiser Superfest tour. Al Haney told Gerald, no, we don't want him out here. We want to keep him safe because they run with a lot of guns. They was like, he did this, he did that. But the crazy thing was we was doing them stay in school jams at the arena. So that weekend we had a show with them in Charlotte. They wasn't about to mess up no corporate stuff. So they put extra security on us when we went there. So it just so happens that I end up in the hallway with Tretch by myself. He did not say a word. Nobody said nothing. That night we had a show somewhere with SWV and stuff, and the guy was like, yo, so he's like, so what the hell happened with you and Tretch in New York? What happened? I was like, man, I don't know. They was mad at us or some stuff I said in the song. He was like, yo, man, he wasn't gonna do nothing. I said, I wish somebody would have told me that night. I was like, but then the crazy thing was I saw him probably like 2 or 3 years later down here in Atlanta. This was way before I moved here, 10 years before I moved here. And I walked up to him in the car. I'm good for tapping niggas on the shoulder like this and be like, hey, man, why you do that? I was like, hey, man, why you do that? I was like, hey, man, why you do that? He's like, yo, man, my bad, man. You know, we was just starting out, man. We didn't know how to be celebrities, man. You know, and at that time, man, we was just taking everything as a diss. We didn't know how to do this. We didn't know how to do that. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And we pounded. We exchanged numbers, but we never hooked up, man. That was crazy. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of scary. That was, you know, that was crazy. Yeah, no trust. Yeah, it was scary in the mug. I mean, I got some other stories. Cats pulling out guns on me. Promoters leaving us in cities for a couple days. But you know, I thought y'all enjoyed that the most.
How did y'all collect the back end back then? Same way?
Before we get on stage, now listen, unless I know you. And even then, sometimes, man, even if I do know you, I'd rather for us to do business the proper way than for me to be mad at you at the end of the night, man. And I had this malice for you because, like, for me now, back then it was different because it was just me. Now I got a wife and kids, man. I can't go home without nothing. You got to give me something. You got to give me a laptop, a camera, your wife, your car.
Your wife.
Something, man. It got to be compensation. And your wife.
And you still owe me 90%. After your wife, you still owe me 90% of what you owe me.
90% of the 50%. Because I mean, I ain't coming unless I get half. I got to get half up front. I mean, you know, it's just amazing. And I tell you know my guys that want to do these shows, I'm like, man, you got to have the money to lose before you get into the promoting game. Don't base your money on what you perceive is going to be sold at the door, because you could bring Beyonce in here and not sell a ticket. You could bring Jay-Z in here and not sell a ticket. It depends on the climate. You could bring in Donald Trump, and as popular as he is with his people, and not sell a ticket.
I got a question since you're talking about selling tickets, man. You've been on stage a lot. Talk about your stage plays a little bit and your acting.
I'm a thespian, man. No, I've been in probably over like about 40 plays, man. You know, I love doing plays, man. It's very tedious. I think the worst part about me, I'm like Allen Iverson when it comes to like practice. Really, you talking about practice? No, but I that's the only way for me is going over, is learning. Let's see. Shut up, Vanita. You don't know the name, check the cane. You know, share the live if you're on here too. Share the live. You know, man, I've been fortunate to never really have to audition. I'm horrible at auditions, so I've been blessed that every time I get a play role that people have handpicked me. The first play that I was in was a show called Stop Cheating on God's Time. I was handpicked by my man Dwight Baxter out of Texas. And in that play was Gerald Levert. We played brothers. Who else was in that play? Erica Campbell from Mary Mary, Dave Hollister, Christopher Williams, Monifa. Who else was in that? And like Nikki from Gilbert from Brownstone was in that. The Interchange and Clifton Powell was in it. He came in and out. You know, Pinky, Johnny Gill was in it. So it was a dope play that ran on and on for probably about 10 years off and on. But I've been in like about 40 other plays besides that. And I mean, man, I've had this chance to share the stage with Thelma from Good Times, Big Red from the Five Heartbeats. Man, a lot of people, man. And that I think that's, man, it's kind of hard to pick and choose between. I've been kind of lazy with my acting. Like I could have so many more acting parts, but I just been really focused on the music, and you know, still kind of lax with that too. I could go a little harder with that, but I love acting, especially musical plays, man. I wouldn't mind being on Broadway one day. You know, who knows, man.
I can see you in a Tyler Perry movie, man.
I mean, you know what? I did have a small role in Medea's Big Happy Family. And then the name
Really?
of it, the one where the mama died, where Lauren London and Bow Wow was at the Byron.
Is that the funeral?
Yep, I'm in the funeral in the choir. I'm like right behind Cheryl Pepsi Riley. I don't get
Okay.
much face time, but I made some good money off of it though. I still get a couple dollars every quarter too.
Hey, that's what it's about, man. I know Nita put on here how's your health been? Said the last time some people seen you was on a cane.
Well, baby, let me tell you about my cane. And like I say, that you don't know the name. If you don't know the name, check the cane. So I had, I'm gonna blame my wife for this because when I started dating her, we were in Ohio. You know that black ice is a mug. So like I guess like the first time she cooked me dinner, I guess she was trying to trap me. So the black ice was outside. You know them 3-step porches we have in Ohio. It was like, and I had like fractured the hip. And I never like sit down long enough to, I was really way more active when I was probably 100 and probably 50, 70 pounds heavier or so. Then after I got that one, arthritis set up in there and I had to get that one replaced. Then the left one got jealous. And so then the right one said, you're giving that one too much attention. So I had to get that one replaced again. Then it popped out. And so the last time they had to fix it, they had to put screws and stuff in there. So they kind of messed up the nerve. So when I go out now, I ice up the cane and I go out there, and I say, so if you don't know the name, check the cane. So I ice up the cane and I go out there. I got different color canes and stuff that match, the shoes, the shirts, whatever, and I go out there and I ice it up.
Would you consider you and Jason like big men sex symbols?
Oh man, hell yeah!
What was the ladies like, man? What was the ladies? Yeah, I want to hear it, bro. A tour or something, an in-store. How was they treating y'all? Because being fat now is different from being fat in the 90s.
Because we opened up the door for him. Like I'm gonna tell you this. Like I met Rick Ross downtown Atlanta one day. He had the nerve to say that he had never heard a minute large. I was like, really, dog? I said, okay, you must think I got he must have thought I had my hands out for something. Like, I ain't never been the type of dude to ever wait for a man to tell me when I can eat. Not me.
What did he say? He said, you know what, this Rick Ross, the biggest boast. I ain't never heard of y'all, but I love eating apple pie.
No,
rubbing them on my chest.
I said, I'm in this group. I said, you ever heard of a group called Men at Large? Gerald Levert discovered it back in the day. He said, no, I ain't never heard of it. I was like, okay, cool. I said, well, let's do some work though, man. I want to do some hooks with you. And that dark-skinned dude that's always with him was with him. And he was like, give him the number. And I gave him the number. And I, whatever his name is. And I have like a 2-call minimum. I call you twice. You don't call me back. Forget it. And, I like to think, Heavy D kind of started it off. You know what I mean? But he was rapping. But 2 big singing dudes.
Yeah.
Well-groomed, haircuts all the time, nails done, smelling good, dressed nice, not sloppy.
Yeah.
But well put together.
What was they doing? What's the wildest thing they done to get to you? You on tour, you backstage. Oh God. After dark. IG After Dark.
Man, listen. Let's just say my man got it every night. Mm-hmm. He never went to bed alone. Ever.
Have you ever Have you ever sweated on a girl's face? This is not even trying to be, we big dudes. You ever sweated on a girl's face
Hell
directly
yeah.
in her eyes? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. If you putting in
She feel
work,
like a
most
broke baby
definitely.
doll.
If you putting in work, you definitely do. In my younger days, when I used to go hard, yeah, you be sweating and then it just, or you do like that and it just drip all over. Like, yeah, most definitely. But I'm gonna tell you, man, it was different from being, because the time us coming up, girls didn't really like big dudes like that. They didn't really like them like that. And then we kind of changed the paradigm for that, man. It was different when we came out. Like Rick Ross, you honestly owe me a check because you was ugly. And I mean, even Biggie, but Biggie was ugly too. But it was something. It was like, chicks would be like, it's something about Big. You know what I'm
Charisma.
saying? But they didn't have to say it about us. It was like, ooh, they cute. They didn't have to say, ooh, it's something about y'all. They was like, ooh, damn, they
You light
cute
skinned
and
too.
sexy. Yeah, I mean, and back then I had my hair was curly. Man, shit. Man,
Hey, that's
it was too easy. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was a whole new world. And the crazy thing coming up is I had a little favor because I was, like a teen celebrity because I was on the radio. So I had some favor. But it wasn't like that until it went crazy when I got in the Minute Large thing. And then for Jason, he wasn't really that lucky with the girls when we were younger. But when we got to the Minute Large thing, man, it went berserko. I remember, I'm gonna tell you a crazy story about him. We was in St. Louis one time. He gonna kill me with it. Look, we could not get him up. We could not find him. And come to find out, we had to get a key to his room. Man, we had to come wake him up out of his room. I ain't even tell you that. They said we had to wake him up and get him out of his room. You know what I mean? We had to just get him out of there. He had his hand towel in his hand and he was asleep. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. The hand towel. The hand towel.
Yeah, the hand towel.
Won't he do it? You see how that cycle back around?
Won't he do it?
That's crazy, man. Man, shout out to Jason, man.
So speaking of that, we get ready to do another album. As soon as we were getting ready to start, and a lot of things start happening towards the end of the year. We were in a bad car accident. Me and my wife lost my sister, and one of my closest homeboys passed away. Then we was getting ready to start, and then all this mess happened. But me and Jason definitely get ready to do another album, at least the EP, at least for legacy's sake. And it's gonna be something crazy. Because we had tried to start in like 2004. We had started to record again. And I pulled out them records, and I was like, wow. Yeah, Mike Beasley.
Y'all, do y'all tour much? Well, of course not now, but, it was a big resurgence of 90s R&B. A lot of people was on the road, these 90s tours. Were y'all a part of any of that?
We weren't really a part of a lot of, we would get on some of those dates, but not a bunch of them, man. But as for me, man, we had our own little groove, man. I was doing a lot of stuff on my own, man. So I was having a nice little run with the plays and, with my own music here and there. It's like, man, if I'm going to get the same money by myself, why, but I mean, the bread and butter is the brand, which is the Minute Large thing. So everybody wants to see me and Jason back together again. So, what are you talking about, Derek? I won't listen about what?
Dave won't listen. You're getting a digital spanking, bro.
They love it. All my people, they love to get on here and do that. What up, my man, Trap Boy Mannequin? What up, Sanji May? Everybody on here, man. Yeah, man. I think, I feel like a lot of the groups, they had to get their old members back, except for Drew Hill and then H-Town, who can't get all their members back because, and Shy. Shy took 2 members from Men of Vision. Well, I think from Riff. One from Men of Vision and one from Riff. And wait a minute. Yeah, Shy has Yeah, well, and then Drew Hill took the 2 guys from Player and 1 other guy, so they got 5 guys now. And so, she talking about the '90s artists. Yeah, she right. So Derica is a music writer. She's a Grammy nominated writer and an artist and producer, and she has some tracks and different stuff. And she wants to do this '90s album with these artists, and she got a whole bunch of money too. So we're gonna make that happen.
That's gonna be hard, man. It's time for that.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. So shout out to Derica.
But yeah, man, we get ready to get back together, man, and do some hella nice, some hella fortified and fruitful in the name of Jesus. No, we're gonna do something really dope though. It's gonna be dope, man. His brother's gonna be like the liaison. Jay Sean Champion is written for Joe, Usher, R. Kelly, a lot of heavyweights out there, and he's gonna kind of, with a younger vibe, he's gonna give us that direction and stuff to kind of make it fruitful for all the demographics. So it's gonna be dope. Hallelujah. You kind of look like Nas a little bit. You like a cross between if Nas and Lil Scrappy had a love child.
First of all, I'm gonna need them not to be in love or do anything to produce a kid together.
If it was a DNA search for it, you would be the child.
And you said Nas and who?
Lil Scrappy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's wild, man. What was Gerald like? To know him like on an intimate level.
Gerald, man, was really cool, man. He was like a brother, teacher, I mean, because he had a lot of wisdom, being around his dad for all those years, being around all those great artists and different stuff like that. And I came from the same thing, being around my dad in radio and being around all that knowledge and different stuff. So I think sometimes, people, when you have that much power come to the room, sometimes it clashes, but that respect is incredible because that this person can stand on his own. He's not one of those dudes that's going to be there. I didn't. You're right, I didn't. That's not going to be there with his hand out all the time, but it's going to be somebody on the team that's going to work with you instead of let you work for him. He was he was honestly like the coolest dude on the planet. Him and Mark and Sean. I remember when our first shows was probably in Cincinnati, and we were always going places with Sean Levert. Sean Levert, it was his job because he was on the Use Me single, and it was his job to go out and teach us how to be stars. So it was dope. Matter of fact, Al the Barber's on there. He was Gerald Levert's personal barber. He just checked in. Gerald was man, and I'm looking at just the videos and stuff I see that keep popping up of him on the TV shows, and man, he was a teacher, man. He was
a monster.
Man, it's a shame, man. It's just unfortunate that that he's not here now. I think about that, and I just think, we had our ups and downs, and we had a chance to really polish it up before he left. And I remember when we had a show opening up for him in Birmingham, Alabama, when Dwight Howard was a rookie, and they had this show at the Birmingham Junior College, and we opened up for him. And I remember Big Joe clearing out the room so me and him could talk, and we just talk, and I said, man, I just, I don't know why cats keep coming to you trying to separate us, because that was really the biggest thing. Cats was always trying to come in. It was always somebody trying to come between me and him with bullshit. And I was like, man, I don't know why cats keep doing this, because I ain't never told nobody nothing. But I love you and I miss you, and I want us to start working together again. And like some of the last words he said to me was, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of all this shit. And that was like really, and then the only other thing he said to me was, man, he was like, man, why y'all ain't sing this or sing that? I think the money for us was funny. I think the money was funny for everybody that night. And he was like, why y'all ain't sing da-da-da-da-da? Because they were screaming for y'all to sing it. I was like, man, them niggas that had a bread, so we ain't really go that hard. He was like, yeah. He's like, fuck this shit. That's what he said. Because I think his money was messed up that night too. And that was the last thing he said to me. I think after that, he went to Africa. And then when he came back, yeah, I know, man. But it just messed me up, Al, because this shit could have been so much bigger, but everybody kept trying to come in between it all the time. And if he knew out of anybody who was the realest dude in the joint, because it was me. So, yeah, Al just reassured me that he knew that. That's my dude. If anybody knew what time it was Al. That was his personal, you know what I mean? So,
So
yeah,
you think he was tired of the whole game?
yeah, man, I think he was tired of everything. I mean, you know, of having to support so many people, and you know, when you know how we complain about our teenagers, about them being this and being that. It was like you create the culture. It's like you can't be mad at your kids if it's something that you created. Like I complain about my kids all the time. I love them to death, but hell, I grew up in the shoebox. My kids were born into a 5,000 square foot home. I'm saying, well, how can you know what I'm saying? You know, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? Especially my daughter. My son had a taste of it, but I'm saying when he really was open and recognized to see it, he was in this big ass house. You know what I'm saying? Thank the Lord for opportunities and the blessings. But you know, we had to scratch and survive to get the things he wanted. But that's what we want for them. But in the process, when they forget, even though we lay down the path of what's the word, of respect, of appreciation, and to be thankful and grateful for things, I think they still kind of lose it, and then they still won't see it until they see it. Like everybody at the camp
You don't
didn't see it.
appreciate anything you don't pay for. You don't
Right,
appreciate anything you don't pay for, whether
right.
with your time or your money.
And I think everybody took G for granted until it had to happen. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, they just knew that he was going to take care of it, and he felt the pressure to always take care of it. Because every time I saw him, it was like, man, you know, I'm trying to figure out what we going to do. And I was like, dude, I don't really care about that, man. I just want to hang out and be back here backstage with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course I want to work and do stuff with you, but it's like you don't always have to tell me that. But he was always, I think he was just always worried about taking care of everybody else. And that's the type of dude he was, man. And I'll never forget that. I just, you know, he was always, he did have too much on him. He was just always concerned about everybody else, and everybody else expected him to carry that. And so he took it and he carried it. Yep.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, man. Rest
The
in peace
GOAT.
to G. He the first person who made me want to grow chest hair. I wish I still ain't grew none, but he used to always have his chest hairs out, just laying like that. They
He
just be
used to,
like that.
he used to perm them. I'm joking. I don't know about
Stop it.
that. I don't know about that. But you know, if
But
you're going to have your chest hair out, you better make sure they lay down.
nah, I want mine's curled up.
You don't know niggas on your chest.
I want mine all curled up.
Who is that talking? Vanita?
Come here, man. She right here. You know she right. I try to get her to come on camera, man. But
I got the Corona look.
what you been doing on Corona, man? During the Corona, man. What you been watching?
I've been watching myself. I've been staying my big ass in the house, man. I ain't doing nothing.
You ain't been watching no TV, no
Yeah, I've been watching
Ozark.
TV. Oh, let me tell you what Alvin said. He said the biggest thing for him before his death was putting out music that was acceptable to the fans, and he put a lot of stress on himself to be accepted in the new era. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Felt like he had to change it up.
Yep. And you know, I feel like he never got his just due. And when things started to change, they didn't treat him right, man. They didn't, and not in my eyes. After everything that he did for the record label, you know, he took, I would say, like a demotion when Missy and all the younger artists started to come in. That's how I feel. And then even now with BET, why haven't these MFs started to pay tribute to him as many times as he came and shut down the BET Walk of Fame or any type of program that they've had? Like, I've been trying to contact Stephen Hill, man. Like, I don't understand that. You know, that lets you know how much people really give a damn about you. They don't give a shit about you after you gone. They don't. It's all good. I think you probably gonna lose time in a minute. You better hit your button to see how much time you got left at the top. You know, it's all crimson and clover in the beginning, but after a while, people forget, man. They forget, man.
How I find that out?
Hit the live button. Hit the live button to tell you how many minutes you got.
It said 55.
Oh, you had 55 minutes. Okay, so you got about 3 minutes left, because sometimes it might cut you off at 2 minutes. But
let's we can go ahead and wrap it up. I won't hold you long, but I do want to play this game, what you call this or that, before we get up out of here. I don't want to rush you off the Gerald topic. I think we could talk about that another day and get real to it. Okay, this or that. Give you two options. You tell me this or that, man. All right, you ready?
I love it. Yeah.
All right, cookie or brownie?
If it's chocolate chip, I'll take brownie.
Okay, movie or Netflix? Would you rather go to the movies or watch Netflix?
Depends on who I'm with. Give me Netflix.
All right. Cash money or no limit?
Neither one of them motherfuckers. Cash money.
Okay. All right. This battle that just happened. Teddy or Babyface?
Babyface all day.
Babyface. Okay. It's no clean clothes in the house, man. You wearing dirty drawers or are you going commando?
I'm putting on dirty drawers.
Commando.
I'm putting on dirty drawers, brother.
Dirty drawers, flip them inside out. They're a brand new pair of drawers, man. It's like a bubble coat that you can.
First and foremost, you ain't gonna never know if my drawers are dirty or not, because I wash my ass about 3 or 4 times a day, and I wear colored underwear, so you wouldn't be able to tell. No way.
I got an embarrassing story about wash day I want to share, man. One day it was wash day and I didn't have no clean drawers, right? I took a T-shirt and put my legs through the armholes. It looked like a pair of parachute pants. I swear it was one of the most comfortable days I've ever had. And I went out into the world and existed. It was interesting. But I just want, my bad.
You let your balls hang through the head hole.
No, they don't quite do all that, but it was windy. I was aerated. Martin or Fresh Prince?
Fresh Prince all day.
Okay. You prefer your girl with flashes or without?
Without.
Especially sometimes when it be like hanging down, they be trying to have a real conversation with you, but it be falling off. You be like, girl, you look like a baby doll, a broke baby doll, girl.
Without.
Burrito or bowl?
Bowl.
Biscuit, Popeyes, KFC, Red Lobster.
Oh man. Red Lobster, Cheddar Johns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Light skin Aunt Viv or dark skin Aunt Viv?
Dark skin Aunt Viv, dog.
Okay. And if I could give you $10,000 right now, would you take your best relationship you ever have or the $10,000? If I gave you the choice right now.
Your wife is wife.
I'd probably take the $10,000, dog.
Hey, man. Hey, bro, I appreciate your time. We're going to link up again, man. I still got music for you and stuff like that, man.
Safari, what up, baby? I told you never know who be dropping in. What up, Safari?
See, man, we missing people now, man. Shout out to Safari, man. My name is Six from Nomtombout Radio, man. You can catch Nomtombout Radio each and every Wednesday at 11 a.m. on radioartifact.com. That's radioartifact.com. You can catch old episodes on Nomtombout Radio. That's YouTube, Spotify, Nomtombout Radio, Instagram. We here at Nomtombout_radio. And man, just keep listening out for us, man. Check us out. I got the type shit gear, man. And that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate your time.
I need one of them shirts, man. Make sure y'all check me out tonight on my Instagram at Dave Minute Large, 9 o'clock. I got this talent night. I'm giving away $50. If you want it, you can have it if you got any talent. I'm just saying, if you don't waste my time coming on there if you don't have no talent. I'm going to tell you, you suck.
Definitely, man. Y'all check that out. I got you with a shirt, man. Send me your size, bro.
10X.
Bonita. No, that's my underwear. And that's just for the front part.
Whatever, man.
Hey, man, now I'm talking about radio, man. Until next time. Goodbye. Bye.
All right,
Bye.
dog.
I'm going to hit you up, bro.
For sure. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
That was good.
Man, that was fun, man. I'm glad I came.